Hi dear students and welcome to Sri Jayendra's Rank Zone classes. I am Amit Ajmani, your mentor and your friend, and I'll be taking up your English lessons. So students, before starting up with the English lessons, let us have a bit of conversation about what exactly are we going to do and why. English, a very simple subject. Everybody knows English, but everybody is not able to score well in English. Now, why is it so? The reason is quite simple. The reason is that English is the most taken for granted subject. You guys, when I mean you guys, I mean students, you people are very casual while doing English. Guys, I've been taking classes for approximately around 21 years now, and I have taught not only hundreds but thousands of students, and I know where exactly their weaknesses were. English, very simple to understand, but the problem is we do not practice it, and that is the main problem because of which we are not able to score. We lag behind because we don't prepare well, and this is what we need to take care while taking these sessions, these classes. Another important thing is, now there is a lot of difference when we are taking the classes face to face. Any doubt you have in your mind, you may ask. Anytime you are distracted from your classes, the teacher that moment only interrupts. But the problem is, now it is a one-way communication between you and me right now. I can't see you. I don't know the way you are sitting and taking up this class. I don't know what is the focus level that you are putting in. So, the very first important thing you need to relate is you need to be responsible. You are all grown up kids. You are not kids anymore, right? You're not small children. You are kids, but grown up kids. So you need to be responsible, you need to be sincere, and you need to be serious. You need to relate the importance of focusing, because there is nobody else watching you whether you are properly gaining out of these sessions or not, right? So I hope that now you people are ready to have the actual content that we are going to discuss. In my today's session, I'll be discussing about a very common topic that you have been doing for past many years, and that is letters. Now we know that letter writing is a very important part, right? Now, when we are talking about letters, we already know that these letters are categorized under the informal letters and the formal letters. What are these? I hope you already know. Informal letters are those letters which we write casually to our acquaintances, to our friends, to our relatives. These are the informal letters. But when we talk about the formal letters, these are the official letters. And this is what we are going to focus in our classes. Now, when we talk about official letters, we are writing these letters formally to some official people, and that is why we need to make sure about a few things. The very first thing while doing letters is that we need to know the right format. We need to know what exactly is the right format of a letter. Now, after knowing about the exact correct format, now what we need to do is we need to relate the right content of this particular letter that we are writing. What do I mean by saying right content? It means that your letter should exactly and precisely contain the information you want to convey through this letter. It should be concise it should be to the point, and it should be specific. It should be in a formal way. It should seem that you are writing it a formal way. After writing it in the proper way, now what I need to relate is, as a student, I need to see that I have written this letter in a right word limit that is being prescribed to me, whether it is 100 words or 120 words or 150 words. It is prescribed to me in the question how long I need to write the letter. If I am writing it in a word limit lesser than required, of course I am inviting my examiner to deduct my marks. And if I am writing more than that, a bit more is acceptable. But if you are in very much excess, of course marks will be deducted, and most importantly, your precious time is wasted, right? Quite importantly, after considering these things, the most important part is the presentation, the representation. Now, when I talk about the presentation, our letter should be without cuttings. All the points that we are writing should be synchronized. Synchronized means the views, the points should come one after another in a very normal way. The examiner should not be able to find any change in thought suddenly. This is what presentation is. We need to take care of grammatical accuracy. Whatever we are writing, how good we are writing, it doesn't make any kind of sense if we are having grammatical errors. If the examiner is circling our errors, obviously it will be a bad impression that will be given to the examiner. So this is what we need to specifically relate, and this is what we need to learn, and this is what for which I am here with you. So let us start up with the letters, and first of all we will be considering and discussing about the right format of a formal letter in our today's session. Now, when we are writing a formal letter, there are lot many things which you need to relate. What are these things? Very, very small things. But at times, because we are casual, at times because we do not observe, that is why our marks are deducted. So, while writing the format of a formal letter, what are the things to be noted down specifically? What are the areas where we need to be cautious? We need to take care. Let us see. On the left hand side, I have just mentioned and specified the various formatting types that we are going to use in our letter, and on the right hand side in brackets I have mentioned a few things we need to take care. Let us see what are the things we need to relate. First of all, whenever we are writing a formal letter, the first thing that we need to write is the self or the sender's address. Now this sender's address, most probably it is given to you in the question, right? So if it is given in the question, perfectly fine. Otherwise we need to write a non-specific address, and by writing non-specific address I mean to say that our address should be in terms of ABC Lane, PQR City. We should not specify any particular address, right, if it is not given in the question. So the first thing that you need to relate is, if the address is given in the question, you need to write that address only, and if not, try to write a non-specific address. Quite importantly, whatever we are writing here, it should be maximum in 3 lines, and we need to write all the things in initial letter capital. This is the first thing we need to relate. Initial letter capital means if I am writing any particular word, the first alphabet of the word should be capital. We cannot write any particular word under this particular head in initial capital, initial letter small, right? Second thing, if I am writing this address, it should be without any comma or full stop at the ends. At the end, we are not going to put any kind of punctuation mark. Yes, internal commas are allowed. Let me tell you the example how I am going to write an address. What exactly is meant by this? If I am writing an address, for example, I am writing house number 28, Niranjan Lane, Drury Street, Hyderabad. Now this is the address I have written. Things to remember is house with H capital, number with N capital, Niranjan with N capital, lane with N capital, Drury with D capital, street with S capital, Hyderabad with H capital. Initial alphabet capital. Second thing, I can put these internal commas, but I have to make sure that I am not putting any kind of comma at the end of the line. This is not acceptable now. Got it? So this is what I mean to say, that in address part, self-address part, we have to make sure the first thing initial letter capital, second thing without any comma or full stop at the ends, third thing address either given in question, otherwise you may write directly examination hall Delhi or any non-specific address, right? Fourth thing, your address must be in maximum 3 lines, not more than that, right? So this is our self or sender's address. After that, we will leave a space and then we will write date. Now, when we are writing the date, in this also we need to relate two things. Number one, the month has to be written in expanded form. Avoid writing Jan, Feb, Oct, Nov, Dec. No. Try to write January full, October full, November full, December full. No Jan, Dec or Oct or Nov or Feb. Nothing. Second thing, now we do not write the dates in slash form. We do not write the dates in dash form like 05-10-2020. No. Or 05-10-2020. No. The address that from now onwards we are going to write is, we'll be writing it in two ways. First acceptable way is, I will write month first, like I am writing January, then the date, then putting a comma and then the year. Second way of writing the date is 20 January. Now 20th January, no. 5th October, TH, no. 3rd September, RD, no. 20 January 2020. Now important thing is, I have not putting any comma here. I have put the comma here in the above first case but not in the second case. Why? Because here I am placing the comma as I am writing date and year, so I don't want any kind of mess around or confusion. But while I am writing January and year, there is no confusion as such, so there is no need to put any comma if you are writing month and year together. But if you are writing date and year together, put a comma to separate them out. Very small things, but I think that you people must have not actually observed these things, that these things, they actually are important. They need our observation. Now after writing date, again I will place a space and then I will write the receiver's designation, like the principal, the editor, the manager, anything, the designation, right? Initially we used to write to the editor or to the principal or to the manager, but nowadays we don't write this to. We directly write the editor, the manager. Fine. And then the receiver's address. Now whatever portion we are writing here, whether it is receiver's designation or receiver's address, once again we need to remember that all has to be written in initial letter capital. First thing. Second thing, there should be no comma or full stop at the ends. Internal commas are allowed. Again, the third thing is that maximum 3 lines for this. You see how important it is to make sure to take care of the small things, because if we are not taking care of it, either we are inviting the examiner to deduct our marks, either we are actually causing the circles being put in our letter, or we are actually making it a bad presentation. So this particular part, let me try to explain how we are going to write it. First of all, I will write my self address, like I will write house number 40, A B C Lane, no comma after that, PQR city. This is imaginary address. Then I'll put a space. I will write date. I don't have to write DATE. I'll simply write 29th December 2020. Then I'll again put a space. I am not going to put this dash. It is just for you. Then I will write the designation of the person whom I am sending this letter. The editor. Which editor? Hindustan Times. The Hindustan Times. This is the name of the newspaper. Kolkata. Things to remember. Again, initial letter capital everywhere. Another thing to remember is internal commas allowed, no comma or full stop at the ends anywhere. So this part is okay now. This part is clear. So let us move to the next part. This is the first part where we have to write the sender's address, date and the receiver's designation or the receiver's address. Now after this, I will again give a space and then I will write the salutation part. For salutation, I'll be writing dear sir or dear ma'am. I may also add respected sir or respected ma'am. One or the same thing. Two things to remember. Number one, again, this has to be initial capital letter. Second important thing, we don't have to put a comma after this. No commas after that. Right? So I am specifying each and everything which you need to take care while writing a letter, because the format is quite important. We have been writing letters for such a long time, but there are so many times that so many students, they have never observed. If you want to recheck, just open up your last year's notebook or registers in which you have written the letters and try to see that you also must have made all these small errors. But now you are grown up. Now you need to be very much cautious about what you are writing, because it matters, no? Alright, so after writing this salutation, quite importantly, I will write the subject part. The subject part is to be written after this salutation. Just let me provide some space. There is no space, so I will provide it for you. Okay, let us have this space. Fine. So here I will write the subject. Now how I'm going to write the subject? I leave a space, then I will write SUB colon. I can also write SUBJECT full subject, and then whatever I am writing in the subject, I will underline it. Lot many things to take care of in this. For example, I am writing problems of electricity breakdown. Now this is my subject about which I am writing an official letter to any department. Few things to remember. Number one, this is the main part. This subject represents our whole letter. That is why we need to give due importance to it by writing it once again in initial letter capital, except one or two alphabetic words like off, like in, like on, like at, like to, like a, like an, like is. Now these are one or two alphabetic words, so we can skip their initial letter capitalization. But otherwise we will write the words in initial letter capital. Why? Because we are giving due importance to our subject. Another thing, make sure that you are writing this subject in one line only. Do not overstretch it. Do not make it in two lines. It gives a wrong representation, bad representation. Right? Now, after this subject, when we are writing any kind of formal or official letter, normally, I am using the word normally because there are a few exceptions, but normally we write an official letter in three paragraphs. The first paragraph is our introduction paragraph. This paragraph includes the introduction part, whether it is self-introduction or the introduction of the topic for which we are writing this letter, or it is the base formation part. It depends on the type of letter. We'll discuss each and every one, and I will tell you how to start a letter. Right? So this is our paragraph number 1. This is normally 20 to 30 words only. A small paragraph, just the introduction part. Then we just come to the second paragraph. This second paragraph, the first paragraph is the introduction part. This second paragraph is called the main body of the letter, and it includes all the details. Depending upon the type of letter, it includes all the details. Maybe it may be the causes or reasons for any problem, or the suffering caused due to the problem, or some suggestions or advices of any kind in order to prevent them. Once again, we'll discuss it one to one. It is just a simple, normal, generalized way in which I am telling you that second paragraph is the body, it is the detailing paragraph, and it is the lengthiest part. It ranges from 70 to 80 words minimum. If the letter is being asked to write in 150 words, then it will be from 80 to 100 words. Right? Right now, I'm just discussing the format. I'm not discussing about the content. I'm just talking about the format of a formal letter. Now, after writing the second paragraph, then comes our final or the last paragraph. This is the final paragraph number 3, which will sum up the letter. It includes our conclusion or our expectation or our appeal or any kind of suggestions. Once again, it depends on the type of letter given to us, which we'll see one to one. This is also a short paragraph, 20 to 30 words only. So these are the 3 paragraphs in which we are going to sum up our letter, formal letter. Now, since it is a formal letter, that is why we write thanking you. but we need to provide a space first. And when you are writing thanking you, you need to make sure of the two things. One, when we are writing thanking you, this you is with Y small. Don't write it capital Y. In some books it is printed wrong. In some books it is written capital Y, but you make sure you write it small. Second thing, we don't put any comma after thanking you. Again, we'll give a space and then we'll be just giving the closure, writing yours truly or yours sincerely. Many things to make sure that this is correctly written. Number one, when we are writing yours, some students are in the habit of writing your apostrophe s. This apostrophe s doesn't come. So, yours without apostrophe s. Second thing, when we are writing truly, this truly is not Truely. This E is not there. So, truly without E. And sincerely, some students write sincerely is Sincerly, not to be written like this. There is an E extra. So, sincerely with E. This E has to be there. Sincerely. Again, quite important thing. We have to make sure that we are writing T and S small. And of course, no comma after that. So, understood what all things we are going to relate in yours sincerely or yours truly? Then we will write our name. Now, if the name is mentioned in the question, we write our name. Otherwise, we prefer writing any non-specific name like PQR, XYZ, ABC or MNO, anything. Fine. So this is the format of a formal letter. Very important thing. Number one, you can very well relate that I am focusing on very small things because these things are important. To consider these things, it's very important. Secondly, while teaching this, I have tried to mention all the things on the right hand side so that all of you are able to relate. All of you are able to make sure that you don't do any kind of error here. Right? So this is now the format of a formal letter. Try to relate what you have been writing till now. Try to relate that any one of you has ever even observed these things. Has any one of you ever actually taken care of? You know what I see in my students? Once they have written a letter, I ask them to revise it. Right? You people also, you must be revising the letters in your examinations. Just give me an honest reply whenever you actually revise your letter. Your revision starts from here. Paragraph number 1, 2 and 3. Nobody revises the above part and the below part. Nobody checks even. Nobody checks whether you have actually written the right format or not. And the best part is, for letters, I have seen thousands of students, they have been saying, sir, what exactly we are supposed to do in letters? Nothing. We just need to know the format, and whatever letter is going to come in the examination, we will think at that time only and we will write. This is even what you people do, no? Just knowing the format, but do you actually know the format? Even after writing letters, the formal letters for so long, trust me, there are very few students who actually write all the things correctly, and ironically, even they don't know. It is just coincidentally that when you will take out your register, you will see the various things discussed in this particular video lecture, and then in that case you will check out and you will see, oh sir, everything is correct. But was it intentional? Did you actually took care of writing those things in that correct form? No. But from now onwards, after taking this class, please make sure that all of you are actually writing the format in the correct way. Got it? So this is all I am going to offer in this particular session. Please go through it again. Please try to remember. Try to make sure that you are rechecking that after writing a letter, you have not made any of these mistakes that I have told you. Right? In the next class, I'll be just talking about particular letters like letter to editor or like letter to any particular official. We'll be discussing all the letters one by one as to what I should write in paragraph number 1, what I should write in paragraph number 2. My simple fundamental is that if somebody as a student is going for an examination, you must be fully prepared. You should not leave anything on chance that, oh sir, I know the format, I don't know from where the letter may come. I will tell you from where they will come. And now since you already know from where these letters are going to come, of course we need to make the preparations. That is what we will be doing, right? So I hope that you must have enjoyed the lecture. I hope that you must have understood whatever I have told, and I hope that you will take care also from now onwards. No mistake in format, right? In the next session, I'll meet you soon with the next topic. Till then, study hard, take care of yourself, and have a great time. Thank you so much.